Welcome back to another podcast. I'm Jack from Wicked Outdoors. Today's guest is Charles Mills. We have Tim. Thanks for showing up, Tim.
Yeah.
Nice to have you here. Charles, I'll start off with you. I had a guy call in, Chris, and he's seen one of your videos about ice fishing out this late in the season. He wants to know of late season behavior for the fish.
So pretty much what you're saying is our topic's going to be late season ice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, late season ice is here's the problem with late season ice is a lot of guys are burnt out. They've been on the ice a lot. They're going to the spots that they normally go to when they first start ice fishing early in the season. A lot of guys are going to tell you that late season ice, the fish stop feeding up real heavy, which is not true. Here's the truth about late season ice. The reason why you're not producing fish the way you did during the first part of that ice season is because the behavior has changed, which has changed the location. Okay. Different species have different behavior. For example, your crappies, they will start staging at the mouths of the bays in the deep end of the basin where they can get to their spawning grounds real easy. Walleyes, what they'll do is they'll start to spawn. Spawn's coming very early for the walleyes, So what they do is they start to go to the riprap, the rock edges, gravel flats, the places that they spawn right next to the basin. So wherever that basin is, and you get that riprap or that gravel bottom, or, wherever they particularly spawn in that lake, because some lakes don't have spawning, some lakes do, some lakes have very minimal spawning because of the stocking programs. So it's not that, the fish stop biting. Fish have to eat. They have to eat the exact same, whether it's early ice, mid ice, or late ice. That's one of the reasons why you don't catch a lot of fish.
How about you got any tips and ideas on lures that you use in late ice?
There's all kinds of stuff like that. Tim, what do you think? What do you like to use during late ice?
Well, before I started going out with you and learning a little bit more about electronics, because I was always a punch hole and braid type of fisherman. I would go with the pack, go outside the pack and just punch holes. The greatest tool for me has been you and your YouTube channels and other YouTube channels where I can watch and take information and then apply it to the situations that I go. It's all about trying. You gotta know the species, know what they're doing that time of year. And late ice, they're not disappearing. They're not. I mean, like my grandfather said, they can't change their zip code. The fish are always there. You just have to know what they're doing at that time of year. And late ice for a lot of fish is that they're getting the urge to spawn. They're getting the urge to fatten up, and that's what they have to do. They have to go on a feed.
I agree with that. A lot of things, what it is. It's that mentality. Hey, I caught fish here 4 weeks ago. I'm catching them here 4 weeks ago. So people keep going back there.
Yeah, you treat ice as its own cycle, like the season. There's spring in early ice, and all the way to fall in late ice. So if you take it in that aspect of thinking about ice, the fish are going to do different things during different seasons of the ice.
Yeah, and here's a perfect example of that. The other day, I took Tim out. Outdoor University took Tim out. We were on a lake in Northeast Ohio, Mosquito Creek Reservoir, and we were doing some walleye and crappie fishing. Okay. Usually on the north end of this lake, there's a city. I mean, an ice city. There's usually 40, 50 shanties out there 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And what happened is they move in. There's two parts of this lake. There's a choke point bridge, okay? with a deep basin in it that's deeper than the rest of the surrounding basins by several feet. Normally that basin is only 12 on the north end of that lake, 12 feet. That basin is down into 23, right where that channel runs through that bridge. What happens is those shad late season stack there. So all those fish come there. Me and Tim got there, and there was guys fishing all in that 12-foot flat. And, and I was like, these guys ain't going to do that well. Well, I seen a father out there with his kids. And you know how I am about taking a kid fishing. It's one of my huge things. By the way, guys, check out the GoFundMe page. Go to outdooruniversityonline.com. Donate, please, to the OIP program. But anyways, so I walked over there and I told him, I said, hey, man, no offense, guys, but, you should move over here, blah, 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 blah. That kid wasn't even over there 10 minutes. And he caught a 17-inch perch. And I mean, this thing was huge. Tim was there. He's seen it. Then after that, they started catching slab crappies. He caught a 16 and a 15-inch crappie over there, and they set their shanty up. Me and Tim left. So me and Tim left, and it was, it was pretty cold. I mean, we were freezing up. Our holes were freezing up. We had a shanty. We had a heater. But, we didn't have no nighttime lights to stay and get on them. Another thing about late season ice is your crappies, your large crappies, when you start getting up to 13, 14, 15, 16-inch crappies, your larger guard crappies in your northern states, where there are guard crappies, there's not guard crappies in every lake. Okay? I've taught about guard crappie for years. I don't care. There's guys out there that are going to say there's no such thing. They're a type A schooling fish. The science proves that there is guard crappie. So, with that being said, what happens is crappies will turn nocturnal. Big crappies will turn straight nocturnal late in ice. And I mean, yeah, you're going to catch one or two in a day. You're going to have a guy comment on this podcast, I catch crappies all the time, big crappies in the day. Yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? You're always going to have one or two little feeding periods within the daytime, but your main feeding period on your northern lakes where your large crappie swim is going to be from 10:30 to 2:30 at night. I've seen it on so many lakes. I've seen it around everywhere that I go. Tim, what's your experience with nighttime ice fishing?
I totally agree. I like your concept about garden crappies and it makes sense. They're schooling fish.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of guys out there that don't even believe in these guard crappies. Guard crappies were a thing. They were really big back in the 60s. The old timers will tell you that the larger fish are on the outside and underneath of the schools, protecting the smaller ones that are in the middle. So late ice comes and you start getting those little dinks. Move out. Either move down. If they're not down, they'll be out onto the sides. Move out on the outskirts of that school. That video that we shot out of
it's a learned behavior by the crappie in the lake when they have large predators. If they don't have large predators, they're not going to necessarily have that adaptation to survival.
That's correct. We find that in lakes that's got these sockheads, pike, muskie. Mosquitoes another one because they got pike in there and they got large, super large. Matter of fact, boys, here's my prediction. Your next flathead catfish state record, Ohio, is coming out of Mosquito Lake. And not only is it coming out of Mosquito Lake, it's going to be caught by me. But anyways, that's beside
or by me.
Point. Yeah, my cameraman, I ain't going to let my cameraman do that. What's your next question, Jack?
I think that answers the two that he has. I'm waiting to see who else texts in, and we'll go from there.
What was the second question?
You want to know what type of lures?
All right. Now you know me.
Nothing beats out live bait.
What?
Nothing beats out live bait.
I ain't got to say it. I taught you well. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Listen, there is no substitution, gentlemen, for live bait. I don't care. You can say, I catch a lot of crappies on jigs. Guess what? Take a jig head, stick a minnow on it. You're going to catch twice as many. It's just plain and simple. Okay. Let me tell you something. There's nothing purple and pink and yellow jumping around down there that's natural. Bill Dance said it best. I asked him one time, I got to ask him 2 questions when I was doing Charles Mills Outdoors, and he was a guest on the show. I asked him 2 questions. Number 1, I said, Bill, what is the best lure a man can have in his tackle box? He looked up at me because he was rigging a Carolina rig. He looked up at me and he said, the best lure you can have in your tackle box, son, is confidence. And that changed my entire being. My next question to him was, what is the best presentation to use with these lures? He said, best presentation to use is live bait. And I said, why is that? He goes, because it's natural. They see it every day. That's what they feed on. They're not feeding on something jerking around and freaking out. Yeah, it triggers a strike, but it's not a food strike. Okay, it's more of a curiosity strike, like bass, something shiny, boom, so they hit it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing beats live bait. It's just, everybody knows that. You know what I'm saying? When fish become active, dead stick and nose minnows aren't as good as lures. But if you take a jig and stick a minnow on it, you will double your catch ratio than you would normally using just a jig.
I concur with that.
What do you think, Tim?
Of course, live bait is always the preferred. But, if some of the Gulf product is actually, if you don't have live bait or you cannot, you can't get it, some of those products can enhance a jig. They won't replace live bait. They'll never replace live bait, but they can trigger a food response in some situations.
We were using, if you remember, Jack, when we were doing that crappie segment at night, I was using those Gulp minnows.
Yep.
I love those Gulp minnows. They have a natural enzyme, a natural scent to them. They're really, 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 really good. I like them a lot. If you remember that, Jack.
Yeah, you did pretty well with them.
Yeah, I did. I did really well with them. And, we're not endorsed here at Outdoor University. We're not endorsed by Gulp or Berkeley, blah, or, none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, here's the truth about the fishing industry. Lures are made not to catch fish, gentlemen. They are made to catch you. They are made to catch your wallet. Remember that. That's total fact. Is there times that lures produce good fish? Of course there is. Okay. Do lures have their place? Of course they do. You know what I'm saying? If you want to cover a lot of water, some guys don't have Panoptics, live scope, sonar, a boat. Tim, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's sort of the situation I'm in. I don't have the boat. I don't have the bells and whistles. I have to go out and cover a lot of water. So there's times that I can throw from shore. I can throw a jig and it'll cover a lot of water that I can cut my, find the active fish. But even then, I would switch up to a live bait presentation, at least to see to try to get the active.
Yeah, using them as a locator, I agree.
Yep, I agree with that.
You agree with that, Jack?
I agree with that.
Of course, because you watch me do it when you film. And it produces some pretty nice fish. By the way, guys, man, I cannot explain to you some of the segments that we've really got coming up here at Outdoor University. I'm super, super excited. Also, I have an announcement, Jack, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
We are launching the new pro staff this year. Okay. We are accepting pro staff members. Here's what we haven't worked out all the details of the pro staff members yet. But we are launching a pro staff members. So if you are interested, please log on to outdooruniversityonline.com. The bottom of the page, you will see where it will say, contact us. If you are interested in the pro staff position, give us a call. And we will weed through those who think they can fish and those who really can't. What do you think about that, Tim?
I'm interested in that. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the truth here, guys. This was inspired by Tim. He asked me the other day. I think it was yesterday we was on the ice, wasn't it, Tim?
Yeah, I was like, how do you get on the pro staff?
Yeah, he asked me how we get on the pro staff. We really didn't think there. We got a lot of stuff in the works, guys. We got an incredible store that we're in the middle of launching. Expansion, all over this, country, in different states. We got a lot of, really cool hunts coming up. Stuff like that. We got a javelina hunt coming up that we're looking forward. We got a wild boar hunt that we are extremely excited about.
I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that.
As a matter of fact, I called Mr. Lawler today, and I am waiting for his call to be returned to me so we can set it up and get it going. But we got a lot of stuff going on here at Outdoor University. We really, really do. And, if you guys are interested in a pro staff position, all you got to do is call us, let's talk. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I want to express that I see with these YouTube channels and these guys, I don't see any interaction with them. I don't see any interaction with their subscribers. I don't see no interaction with the guys that follow them. Now, we've taken several of our subscribers out. We've filmed it. We've put them on extraordinarily large fish. You know what I'm saying? For example, if you remember when I took Eric Warner out, one of our subscribers here in Northeast Ohio, I do believe it was the first part of cut bait versus live bait.
Yep.
If I think, man, there was one fish that was so large that I caught that all he did was film my feet the whole time because he was amazed. I mean, it was a 35-pound channel cat. You know what I'm saying? And that's only a couple pounds away from the state record. But, at that time, I took one of the subscribers out. We didn't bring the camera crew. We didn't bring all that because it really wasn't even going to be a segment that we filmed. It was just, somebody, that needed to get out, that wanted to get out. You know what I'm saying? And, and we take a lot of vets out. We take a lot of veterans out fishing, Guys, and I'm talking to all you YouTubers out there, man, interact with your subscribers. Listen to me, man. That's what pays our bills. These people are taking time out of their day to log on and watch you. You understand that? They owe you nothing. You owe them everything. You have their time. You are on their schedule. Absolutely. They write your paychecks. They do. You are a public servant. Do your job, guys. Teach these people. Nobody wants to see you out there just catching fish, doing nothing. They want to know why you're catching fish, where you're catching fish, and what you're using.
I think we covered everything. Plus.
Right on. But I got a feeling that, you guys are going to see more of Tim. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about that?
I think that may be happening, yeah.
I'd like to film you catching a big fish there,
A little bit.
Yeah, I was telling Tim, see, Tim's a different type of fisherman than me. He's a subsistence fisherman. He fills his freezers. You know what I'm saying? He's got fish to get him through the year, stuff like that, And I told him, I said, I'll take him out. I'll take you out crappie fishing out on the boat in the summertime, and I'll show you what, I mean, what, Jack? We was catching, 200-300 fish a night?
Tim, I can tell you that I haven't seen so many crappie hit a boat. Yeah, I was blown away.
I will gladly clean until my arms fall off. Let's put that.
That's what everybody says. And the next time I say you want to go, they're like, no, man, I'm cool. I got enough fish.
Way too many. That's way too many.
I know you got minnows in that minnow bucket. Let's go.
I agree. But we got any other questions, Jack?
Nope, nobody's texted in. That was it.
All right.
Because if I don't work the next couple of days, I'm going to be hitting up Mark and going to the lip of the channel and starting there and working back to that beaver hut on West Branch.
That's an underrated lake. That is a super underrated lake.
Very underrated.
I want to go explore that bay I was telling you about. And I actually want to do that on film. And I want to start by showing it on the contour map, why I'm choosing this, the behavior that matches the time. And I want to go there and prove that behavior equals location. Location equals presentation. Presentation equals success, gentlemen.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more.
I want to hang some crappie under tip up on that lake.
That lake's got some pretty large tips up. I mean, some pretty large crappie. There used to be a bait shop down there by the arsenal called the Double K. Okay, and that guy, man, I'm telling you right now, that dude, he was an incredibly intelligent crappie fisherman. This guy had a picture of 3.5 pound crappie on his. Actually, it was 3.7, almost 4 pound crappie. White crappie.
State record for crappie. Does anybody know?
The state record crappie, I think it's 4 pounds. I think the white's 3.8 or something. I could be wrong. Do not quote me. It's been a long time since I've looked at the state record crappie. There's a white crappie and a black crappie. There's two different, species here in Ohio. So I'm not real sure. But before we wrap
that fish.
What?
Maybe it's time we start searching for that fish.
Yeah. Before we wrap it up here, Jack, why don't you give a little bit of a tidbit to the listeners and the watchers on what we going on down at Kerr Lake, Bug Lake.
Oh, I think we're going to be breaking some state records.
It's actually a world
record and state records. I have some inside knowledge, and I've been studying for the last 3 years on this fish. This fish, the current world record is out of Kerr Lake, okay, or Bug Lake, whatever you want to call it. Flathead, I'm sorry, Blue Cat. We are going to go and catch the new world record, and we're going to do it on film. We have a trip planned this year. I've got some inside information, and if not, we're going to get some fish at least in the 100-pound range. Oh, I know you've been talking about this world record, state record for a few years now and doing your homework on it. I know that.
I mean, I've been studying. I've talked extensively to the guy that caught it. I've talked to there's 6 guys that's come within ounces of it. Ounces, gentlemen. And all these fish are coming out of the exact same location. There's a handful of guys that know where this location is. And these are the guys that keep their tight lips, their lips real tight.
Another classified.
Well, you know how I am about that, man. Yeah, look, dude, you can ask me where my best spot is. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't hide things from people. I want to see people catch fish. I want to teach conservation and behavior. Teach, look, leave the big ones, leave the breeders, take the eaters. Leave the breeders, take the eaters, gentlemen. It's not that hard to do. You ain't going to hurt the lake if you do that. And everybody's going to catch fish and have fun. But these guys, I got in good with them, all of them. And I've been in correspondence with them for the last, and before that, I was in real close contact with Cody Mullinax, who broke it out of Texoma, the Blue Cat, who had it, broke it. For years it stood. This kid broke it out of Lake Texoma. 2 weeks later, somebody breaks it out of the Mississippi.
No.
Well, I'd have been mad, but
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got that segment coming up. You know what I'm saying? What else we got coming up on our university, Jack? You got the schedule.
Still working on quite a few things. the store is the major thing. They're going to love the store. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I think we're going to blow that live baiting for muskies up this year too.
Yeah. And the
What do you think
prices
about
that we're setting at, you're not going to get anywhere else.
Yeah, that technique nobody uses. You know what I'm saying? You know, that live baiting for muskies, nobody uses it. They call it the fish of 10,000 casts. I call it the fish of one cast. If you're in the right spot, you only need one cast.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Tim?
I'm game for that.
All right.
Yeah.
I think Tim's got some hidden skills he don't want to talk about.
I've been out there with him. I've checked him out the last 2 times we've went out together, me and Tim. You know what I'm saying? Tim's more of one of those old school fishermen. You know what I'm saying? One of those older guys, like you ever seen that show, Grumpy Old Men? Where those, them old guys are always fishing. Tim's that guy, you know what I'm saying? He's the guy out there. He's not trying to be better than anybody else. What he's trying to do is he's trying to eat. He's trying to feed his family, and stuff like that, and that's what the fishing's all about. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
You pay money for a license. That money is used for stocking programs and conservation in these lakes. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I would expect our money to go to, and guess what? It's your money. If you want to take it out, it's like a bank, it's like a food bank.
We
Right.
are extremely blessed in Northeast Ohio with the amount of lakes and resources that we have that are available for public fishing. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, you go to other countries and they're limited on their ability to fish. They're limited on their ability to where they can go to fish, who can fish, who gets licenses. It's very liberal in Ohio. It's very inexpensive. And it's a renewable resource that we have in the outdoors. And as long as you use it and don't abuse that resource, it's going to be there.
For
I
a very
agree
long
100%.
time.
I agree 100%. Like, there's states, believe this or not, guys, there's states, man, that there's only one reservoir within hundreds and hundreds of miles. And everybody has to fish that one reservoir. Here in Northeast Ohio, I can't even count how many reservoirs we have within driving distance of 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. You can't beat it. If you never fish Northeast Ohio, you have to come fish it. Plain and simple.
If you guys are interested, hit us up here at Outdoor University. We do not guide. Don't ask us to guide, but we will direct you. Personally, with this hand, I will direct you and put you on fish. Everybody that knows me knows I'll put you on fish. As a matter of fact, I'm going to send you that video, Jack, of those kids that I put on fish. I took a little video of them. They introduced their names and stuff. I mean, they were so happy, that we put them on fish, because I knew they weren't going to catch fish where they were. Me and Tim was looking at each other going, that's only 7 feet of water over there, and we were in what, 14 to 17, Tim?
Yep.
Yeah, we were in 14 to 17 feet. We were on a lip of a creek channel that was covered with riprap and gravel. And it dipped into the channel and went under the bridge at Mosquito Lake. There you go, guys. I just told you one of the biggest secrets that you'll ever know. Go there in the spring, jigging a minnow straight down that edge of that channel lip. You're gonna catch walleyes till your arms fall off. Now, see, nobody's gonna tell you that kind of stuff. These guys, they find a spot like that, and they keep it to themselves. We don't do that here at Outdoor University. I want to see you catch fish. I really do. It's not all about me catching fish. I love seeing people catch fish. I mean, how many times, Jack, have I said, grab that rod, and you're trying to hold a camera?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what happens? And what happens every time? You reel in a monster.
Yep.
I'm not greedy. I don't want, no. So, but, it's, everybody's different. I'm not knocking anybody. You got to remember, one thing about this late ice is the behavior changes. Here's the problem with humans is we're used to one thing. We don't like change. That's a fact. Okay. Change comes, and we don't adjust to it. These fish are adjusting to the behavior. I mean, to the conditions that are going on right now. They know the photo period is dictating right now. The photo period is raising. They're noticing there's more daylight. Spawn's coming, And let me tell you something. They know this. They know that they have to spawn and they're not going to eat during spawn. So what do? Feed up, feed up, feed up. Move closer to the spawn areas. That way they're not expending that caloric value.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyways, that's pretty much where we're at, guys. And what was that guy's name? Chris?
Yep, Chris.
There you go, Chris. Just did a whole podcast about Chris's question.
That's all right. Hey, my next one, they all want to hear about the UFOs.
Oh my God.
That one.
Didn't we just talk about this on the last podcast, the UFO footage you got?
Yep, I'm not releasing that till later this year, but
oh man, I mean, you're gonna lump me in with all these conspiracy nuts, man. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Last time it was goddamn Bigfoot. You know what I'm saying? Jeez, man.
Still haven't found him yet.
Yeah.
Someone out there, make me a believer.
We've all had paranormal experiences.
Yeah, that we have. I have a very strange grandmother. But that's for a different podcast. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely for a different podcast.
Tell you, I knew it. Once we start talking about Bigfoot, the UFOs and ghosts were going to come out also.
Oh man, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just, I've as much time as I've spent in the outdoors and I've spent on the water. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've seen some pretty weird things, man. I was fishing one time. Had my waders on and I was fishing, and right behind me was this really steep bank, almost 90 degrees. I had a deer jump right off that bank, right over top of me in the water and swim across the lake. And it about scared me.
I hear that. That's a different podcast.
Yeah, that was pretty,
That's strange and unnormal.
Yeah, but don't. And I repeat myself, don't count yourself out, guys, because it's late ice. I'm telling you right now, man, this late ice season can be good if you apply the behavior. Look, there's a lot of studies out there, man. Get on, log on to Outdoor University online.com and you'll see. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We'll put links up there for you guys, man. You know what I'm saying? Of, different behavior and, different latitudes. Longitudes and latitudes, and sea level has a whole heck of a lot to do with it. Lakes that that are higher in the mountains, man, have a different behavior than lakes that are lower in the mountains. More pressure on that swim bladder, guys. You need to know these things. Knowing these things, okay, is key. You got a lot of fishermen that go, "Whoa, throw rubber worms, buy a stump, you'll catch a bass." No. You know what I'm saying? You want to catch the largest fish in that species niche. You need to know the behavior. Here's a perfect example. Channel cats, when they're small, they feed on crustaceans. As they get bigger, they turn into a predator, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why you can fish
alive. Yes, right.
That's why you can use shrimp and stuff.
That's right. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It all involves knowing the main prey species of the predator fish in a lake. If they're flatheads, they're going to be chasing bluegill. If they're shad in the lake, they're going to be high. The predators are going to be higher in the water column. There's going to be, if it's mainly minnows, they're looking tied into the weed edges so they can hide. So you got to know your lake, and then you can know the prey species to know what the predators that you're trying to target are doing.
See, that's what I like to do, especially in late ice. Like you can get on to the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, and you can look at their forage krill surveys, their forage surveys, man, and you can see, okay, well, there's gizzard shad or threadfin shad or bullhead minnows, or what is the major species that has the most and that the crappies are feeding on. Because look, some lakes are going to be feeding on shad. Other lakes, they're going to be feeding on alewives. Let me tell you something. I had a school of shad under me one time under a light, and the crappies at West Branch, I watched them pick off all the alewives first, then hit the shad. That was their favorite. So what we would do, and we'd get a minnow, boom, and we'd catch the alewives. As soon as we do it down there, we'd catch the larger ones in the school because we were using them alewives. You know what I'm saying? What are they targeting? You know, good thing. Open one of their bellies. See what they're eating, guys. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? You'll see. You know, I mean, it's all about what they are. The Department of Natural Resources, especially Ohio, all over this country, but especially Ohio, man. Here in District 3, our biologist, his name is Matt Wolf. He's a really, really good guy. Very, very knowledgeable. And he'll give you pretty much all the information you ask for.
There's always science behind it. Got to know the science to find it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm not trying to take the fun out of fishing, guys. I'm not. If you're the type of guy that just wants to go out there and throw a lure around because, you know, you just paid $20 for this crankbait, have fun, man. I'm cool with that. You know, I hope you catch a monster, you know, but if you want to catch more and you want to catch monsters and you want to understand what you're doing, you know, here's the problem that we have as a human, as a species, is we do things we don't understand why we do them. Because if we did, we would know, should we or shouldn't we? You understand?
Absolutely.
That's the fact. You know, can we build a nuclear bomb? Sure. Should we build a nuclear bomb?
Nope.
You understand? Know what you're doing. Take some time out. Stop. Go, okay. Let's logically break this down. I'm on this lake. How am I going to break this lake down? The first thing you should do when you approach a lake, whip out a good contour map. See what you're dealing with. If you have a lot of drop-offs, a big open basin area, then you go and you look at the behavior that is specific to those type of fish that are in that environment. Say you have just a big open lake, you know what I'm saying, with a big basin. You're going to look up basin behavior crappie studies. You're not going to look up, you know what I'm saying,
Lake Erie
study on crappies, you know, that they took in 12 feet of water over a brush pile. You're not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know? But pretty much it is what it is. What do you think about that, Tim?
Well, it all falls back to knowing your lake. You got to know the water body you're sitting on.
Yeah.
If you don't know the water your body you're sitting on, and you don't know that the water in front of the dock is 18 feet deep, and you come in there with a bobber and you fish 2 feet down, you're not going to catch much. And you're going to think there's no fish there. But if you know the lake and you know that it's deep there, yeah, it's just common sense to know if you're going to spend the time in the outdoors, you put a little effort into what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. You're right. Mother Nature gives us a lot of things. And nowadays with technology, you know, we have contour maps. We have, you know what I'm saying? And it's starting to get, you know, back in the day, getting a fisherman to talk was like pulling teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Nowadays, you got a lot more guys that are more willing, you know what I'm saying, to give you information. Yeah, fishermen are weird. They're very, very, very tight-lipped. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that way. Everybody that knows me knows that, man. I get at least 3 phone calls a day from somebody that I don't even know that ask me or hit me up on Messenger. Hey, man, I want to go fish here. What do you know about this lake? And I'll straight break it down to them, man. You know, I'll be like, here's my phone number. Call me, because I don't have time to sit there and type this with my thumbs and get cramps in my thumbs because I got a lot to say. You know, I'm going to tell you exactly what I know. I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe you know something that I don't, because if you do, I want to know. You know, you're seeing a guy, you know, walk off, you know, late ice with a bucket full of huge walleyes. What's up? Tell me something. I'm not asking for your spot. I'm just asking you, you know, what happened? What was the scenario? What was the environment? What was the surrounding that you caught those fish? You know?
Yeah.